This training was brought to you by Concentrix, and in this training, we're going to learn about ethics, integrity, compliance, and code of conduct. What is the importance of integrity in the workplace? Integrity is a concept of consistency of actions, values, methods, measures, principles, expectations, and outcomes. In ethics, integrity is regarded as the honesty and truthfulness or accuracy of one's actions. Integrity is a major component of ethical behavior, and in the BPO companies such as ours, ethical behavior is good for business because it fosters one of our greatest assets, customer loyalty. Integrity includes trust, which is the bedrock of Concentrix's brand and reputation, high integrity, Concentrix's marketplace differentiator, transparency. The enormous promise of a smarter planet rests on open, collaborative, and trust-based relationships. Here are some examples where integrity in the workplace can be compromised. Financial fraud. Example, manipulation of accounting books to show profit or loss where there's none. IT security. Example, downloading or browsing non-IT sanctioned files or websites. Data privacy. Example, sharing and distribution of company internal data or using non-licensed computer programs. Physical security. Example, hazardous office environment. Process violation. Example, non-adherence to process documentations. Transportation safety. Example, non-secure commute from work to home and vice versa. Corp credit card policy. Example, stealing credit card information from customers. Workplace discipline. Example, no set rules for disciplinary actions. Workplace security. Example, absence of security personnel to ensure the security of workers. And finally, sexual harassment. This includes lascivious advances to co-workers. The Concentrix Business Conduct Guidelines is a document of conduct we establish for ourselves to help us comply with laws and good ethical practices. But this is not just about compliance with the law and general standards of ethics. By establishing these guidelines and giving them the weight of government document, we are acknowledging that our choices and actions help define Concentrix for others. We are ensuring that our relationships with clients, investors, colleagues, and communities in which we live and work are built on trust. In other words, the Business Conduct Guidelines are a tangible example of values and an expression of each Concentrixer's personal responsibility to uphold them. Here are a few scenarios of potential code of ethical business conduct violations. Any willful or irresponsible action resulting in disrepute to the company or defaming the company in the eyes of employees, media, or general public, spreading negativity in the workforce. Sale, distribution, or possession of intoxicants, illegal drugs, any other controlled substances in the office premises or cab is prohibited except for approved medical purposes. Dual employment. Example, an employee working in two organizations at the same time. Impersonation. Example, pretending to be another person. Fraudulent documentation. Example, fake medical certificates, fake certificates, testimonial submission on post, joining regarding education, work experience, identification, etc. Violation of law in office premises. Financial fraud. Concentrix treats financial fraud of any kind very seriously. It is a breach of our value, trust. and it compromises the credibility of the organization in the eyes of stakeholders. Here are a few scenarios of potential financial fraud. Employee misuses credit card information given by a customer on call. Fraudulent, incorrect selling, upselling, financial waiver, discounts, or forced activation of VAS account reinstation, etc. Accepting bribe, involvement in financial fraud, including involvement of vendor, third party, incorrect accounting, financial reporting, etc. SIM swap. Fraudulent referrals, gift voucher misuse, misappropriation. Fraudulent claims and reimbursement. Embezzlement. IT security. Concentrix's information and communication systems are vital to Concentrix's business. You are responsible to ensure that your use of Concentrix systems is appropriate, and Concentrix assets are not misused. Here are a few scenarios of potential IT security violations. Misuse of company resources. Accessing objectionable or prohibited website. Password or unauthorized tool, system, application sharing. Unauthorized accessing or tampering to sites, tools, or systems. Not changing default password. Unauthorized changes of IT system. Using client system in any way for personal benefit. Using someone else's ID to log in and take calls. Making changes to a customer's account without customer's consent. Guidelines for laptop users. Ensure your laptop has adequate password protection. Ensure that data on your laptop hard disk is encrypted. Ensure your laptop is WSD compliant. Always secure your laptop with a cable lock. Secure your laptop when you operate from public places. Request the admin team for a laptop ID badge and ensure it is pasted and visible. Do not leave your laptop in an unattended vehicle. Do not share your laptop's password. Non-compliance of the above will result in strict disciplinary action, including PBC downgrade and termination. Moving on to data privacy. Many of Concentrix's assets are of great value to its competitiveness and success as a business, such as Concentrix's intellectual property and confidential information. Protecting all of these assets is critical. Here are a few scenarios of potential data privacy violations. Sharing information. Fake CSAT creation. Obtaining personal information. Soliciting information from customer without business need, fake surveys, and account reinstating. Loss or theft of confidential data. Serious loss of Concentrix classified information. Espionage. Example, acting as a spy and obtaining information that is considered secret or confidential without the permission of the holder of the information. Now let's talk about transport safety. It is important that you follow the guidelines laid down while traveling or availing company transport. This is important for your safety. Here are a few scenarios of potential transport safety violations. Driving a cab. Signing pickup drop sheet for other colleagues. Signing drop sheet but not taking cab. Indulging in argument with driver. Violating transport safety guidelines. Sharing of incorrect address, false address, for pickup and drop. Remember, transport safety begins with you. Moving on to corporate credit card policy violation. Corporate credit card policy provides the framework for the issuance and usage of the corporate credit card to employees. Corporate credit card is issued for exclusive usage of the employees towards any business expenses incurred on behalf of the company. Here are a few scenarios of potential credit card policy violations. Keeping the corporate credit card information unsafe or unattended. Dues not cleared by employee or delayed payments in spite of getting the claim settled. Credit card dues delayed on account of delayed submission and claiming reimbursement. Submission of incorrect and fraudulent bills for settlement. Using the corporate credit card only for personal purposes. Use or allow use for another's expense on your corporate credit card. Now let's discuss process violation. You must be ethical and lawful in all of your business dealings whenever you are selling, buying, or representing Concentrix in any other capacity. You should always observe the process guidelines and operational protocols. Here are a few examples and scenarios of potential process violations. Call release, drop, hold avoidance, and incompletion and disconnection of calls. Cherry picking, jumping queue, chat call survey avoidance. Intentional client disservice, process-related data manipulation. Unauthorized working on offline mode, incorrect or multiple call wraps. Not following operational protocol. None or incomplete case documentation. Willfully avoiding work. Rude behavior using profanity. Processing no-go claims. Email modification to avoid surveys. Divulging confidential customer information without required security checks. Asking for CSAT, ICE, on call, calling the customer for same, doing extra tagging for CSAT or ICE. Not providing escalation option when asked by customer. Now let's move on to physical security. Physical security includes safety of our employees, infrastructure, and assets, and if this is compromised, it exposes the organization to risk and can adversely affect customer, client, and employee confidence. Here are a few scenarios of potential physical security violations. Any willful or irresponsible action resulting in damage to the office property. Usage of recording devices wherever prohibited and for purposes other than management-approved purposes in office premises. Carrying of paper and pen, recording devices including video recorder, camcorder, cameras, CD, pen, drive, cell phones, or using it erroneously wherever prohibited. Theft. Using another employee's ID card for access. Carrying weapon or sharp-edged instruments. Tailgating, which is leading to the access of an authorized person to the restricted area. Workplace security. Compliance to workplace security guidelines is mandatory at all times and is every Concentrixer's responsibility. Here are a few scenarios of potential workplace security violations. Concentrix or client confidential material or printouts left on the workstation, printers, workrooms unattended. Personal communication devices left unattended. Example, cell phones, PDAs, Blackberries, etc. Leaving ThinkPads, portable media unattended. written user IDs and passwords left in any accessible location within Concentric's premises.